Today I'm making an Olive Garden copycat chicken tortellini Alfredo. So let's get started. I've already pounded my chicken thin. You want that pretty thin. It will bake so much faster if it's thinner. You want to preheat your oven. Go ahead and get that started at 350 degrees. And we're going to go ahead and mix up the marinade for the chicken and get that in the oven. I'm going to start with 1 tablespoon of Italian herbs. Put that in the bowl. 1/4 cup of olive oil. And I'll be honest, I use what I buy at Aldi. Leave in the comments of what kind of olive oil you use. I know there's probably better brands. And about a 1/2 teaspoon or so of vinegar, just a touch. I have a square baking dish, and I'm going to place my chicken breast in this baking dish. There's oil. We don't really necessarily need to spray the pan or the dish since there's oil in our marinade. Okay, so I'm just going to drizzle this over. Going to brush both sides with that olive oil and herb. Flip it over. Put a little bit more on there. Okay. Then I'm going to salt and pepper. And use some fresh ground black pepper. Has so much better flavor. Okay, now we're going to put this in the oven, 350 degrees, until the internal temperature is 165 degrees. Now you're going to prepare your refrigerator tortellini. You could use dry tortellini, but I bought the refrigerator type, and we're going to get that on to boil. You want to make sure your water is salted well. For 2 servings, you're going to need an 8-ounce package of the tortellini. While the chicken's in the oven baking and the pasta water is coming up to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and shred my cheese. So you're going to need a 1/2 cup of Asiago cheese, a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese, and 1/2 cup of mozzarella. Now the mozzarella is for the top. It's not for the Alfredo sauce. Need a 1/2 cup of Parmesan, 1/2 cup of mozzarella just for the top. Okay, to a skillet, we're gonna add 6 tablespoons of butter. Now, I bought the refrigerator brand of the tortellini, so it only takes 2 minutes to cook. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my sauce ready before I even start my tortellini. My butter is melting, and I'm gonna go ahead and add some roasted garlic. You can use just minced garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and use my roasted garlic that I froze this summer, and it just melts into that butter. If you have never done that, I so recommend trying some roasted garlic and then freezing it. You have it ready on hand. It's so much better than that minced garlic in a jar. You're gonna cook that for 1 minute. And you're gonna cook it on medium heat, medium to low. You don't want your butter to burn. Now you're going to add 2 tablespoons of flour. Stirring that till combined. Once that's combined, you're going to quickly add your milk and cheese. So it's 1.5 cups of heavy cream and 1.5 cups of just plain milk. In goes the milk and the cheese. You're on low heat, stirring gently. You're stirring frequently until the sauce has thickened and comes to a simmer. So I'm not gonna leave it very long. I want to make sure that I don't scorch it. Okay, in goes the tortellini. And this takes 2 minutes. You don't want to overcook. I'm gonna go in with a half a teaspoon of salt and some pepper. I'm gonna go up with the heat so I can start getting this to simmer. I'm removing the tortellini. I'm gonna drain it and set that aside and wait on my sauce to thicken up. Okay, we're starting to simmer and getting thicker. So I'm gonna reduce my heat and turn my heat off. This will thicken more as it sets off the heat. So my chicken is done. I'm gonna let that rest for about 5-10 minutes. While the chicken's resting, I'm adding the Alfredo to the pasta. So I've let the chicken rest, and now I'm going to just slice it into strips. I'm going to add the pasta back to this 8x8 baking dish, and then I'm going to top it with the chicken. Okay, I didn't mention that I used Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. And I also want to say that I got all of these ingredients at Aldi, except for the chicken, and I get that at a local grocery store in my area. All right, it's in the broiler. We're about to get that out.